Ladies and gentlemen, Power Trolls are officially back with the latest update, giving us 2 trays for our loadout. Now, this doesn't mean power trolling is the best way to handle a troll aspect, since clearly it really just depends on the team that you're rolling with. If people are expecting to get a raid done within a few minutes, then you definitely want to stick with the whole buff trolling stuff. But nonetheless, power trolls are still recommended, still asked for, and it's still useful. So in today's video, I'm going to be breaking down everything you need to know to have an infinite power troll build, from your loadout, your rotation, the allies that you're going to need to be using, and the artifacts. So with that being said, if you guys enjoyed this video, then click the like button, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel for more. Let's do this. Okay, so to start things off, we need mods. You got your base mods and your gear mods. So for your base mods, and you guys know I like to break this down in case there's beginners watching this. So for health and power, you just want to stick with power, and then for your support, you want vitalization. Since we are power troll, we need as much vitalization as we need, right? So for the affinity mods, if you're a beginner with no elite gear, this does not apply to you. If you are an endgame player with all elite gear, then these are the ones that you're going to want. And the most important one is power strategist, just because every time you use a power heal, this one actually gives you additional power. So that's super necessary for a power troll. Now for your mods that you can get, the only 2 ones that you have to invest a little bit of money on is for your head socket, which is the ultimate supercharge mod. This one gives you 15% supercharge back to you when you use a supercharge. And the next one is your back piece. So you have a 25% chance of resetting the cooldown every time you use a shield or supercharge. And this build is pretty much just spamming your supercharge, so it would kind of just help a lot, actually. For the other mods, you can get them for free on your base. So the weapon socket, it's practically the same thing. I haven't changed them. Is replenishing adapter 5. We got escalating replenishing proc, extended supercharge. So this chest piece gives you a 5% every time you use a supercharge, so it kind of just adds to the head socket. For the legs, it's ultimate critical prowess. For feet, you got Tumbling Master, and in hands, you got Empowered Channeling. So those are the ones that we've been pretty much rocking ever since I started the channel. So if you're new, then this is the ones that you guys are going to want. Now, before we talk about the artifacts, we have the augments page. So you're definitely going to want to use your adaptive augments for the most recent DLC. And then for the augments on the bottom, you're going to want to max out your vitalization as much as possible. Again, we're power troll, so giving out power is a crucial element. The last thing is the White Lantern Ring. Now, if you don't have the White Lantern Ring, don't worry about it. I'll pretty much just show you the different abilities that you can use, since it's not that much of a difference. But the 2 ones that we are going to be using is the Life Shield, which is very good, and the Brilliant Chains. I think for a control stun, this is super mandatory. This is probably like the best stun I've seen so far, which is actually really good. Okay, so now that I've been playing it for a while, I can see why you want the White Lantern Ring augment. Okay, so to break down your artifacts, so for the power troll, first one is Parasite's Power Harness. Anytime you use a debuff, you pretty much get power equal to 10% of vitalization. Now this one does apply to you and 7 members of your group, so that's very important. So Bob Conley gives you Bird's Blitz, so that's 1 move to apply all 3 different debuffs, which is crucial, right? Now the reason why you want this is because you don't want to use 3 different moves to apply 3 different debuffs, because as a power troll, you're pretty much just wasting more power. Okay, so I definitely recommend using Bob Comlink for this build, and not Brand of Hecate, though some people will think differently, but I do think Bob Comlink is still more important. For the second artifact, we have Amulet of Rao. Now, Amulet of Rao is just a troll artifact, period. It's super necessity. It doesn't matter if you're using a power trolling, buff trolling, or battle trolling. Anytime you use a debuff, it's a lot stronger, and it does damage over time. So Amulet of Rao is a must. For your third artifact, we have Sinestro's Corrupted Power Ring. So this one actually builds supercharge and gives power back to you. It actually does do a little bit of damage when the Avatar of Fear is active. So this one's very important, and this is also going to help scrap a Soul Cloak to help you guys spam your supercharge. So that's your third artifact. The next one is Bob Comlink, so it's just the 1 move to apply 3 different debuffs. So that's very important. I don't think there's any other way to explain that one. The last one is Scrap a Soul Cloak. So this one's all about supercharge. So it increases your maximum supercharge and supercharge regeneration by 27%, and it reduces your supercharge ability by 22.5%. The cool thing about this is that it also restores 7% of your max supercharge after using it. So this is what's helping the Sinestro's Power Ring to pretty much just max out your infinite power dump. So for your allies, these ones don't really change that much. The only one you're pretty much changing if you're a buff troll to a power troll is Cyborg. So for your combat ally, I'm sticking with John Constantine. I know he's a combat ally, but still technically a support, since every time you use him, he does increase your might, precision, and your defense. So I definitely recommend sticking with him. You don't need to. If you have someone else that's free that can do a little bit more damage, like maybe Superboy or Death Metal Batman, you can totally do that. It's entirely up to you. For your support ally is Cyborg. So as long as your base generator cell mods are above 50%, you'll have that power regen for 35%, which is crucial, right? So these are the ones that I keep talking about. You want to make sure these ones are above 50%, okay? And then the last one is John Stewart. I've said this so many times. John Stewart is the most important ally that anyone should get. It makes any elite raid or anything that you're running that is elite so much easier. So it will replace your normal shield with a stronger Green Lantern shield. And since we're a buff troll, it does increase your vitalization for 12 seconds. So it pretty just maximizes everything that you're using. So those are the allies that you want. And finally, for your loadout. So for this one's pretty interesting. So for your weapon, you have brawling. Okay, brawling is still important as a troller. I don't think you should use any other weapon. At least that's just my opinion. Feel free to leave it on the comment section below if you guys want to argue about that, but I think brawling is far more important, right? So you want to get the whole page, and then you're going to want to get your weapon mastery from martial arts. So clear the first page, go to martial arts, which is here, get all this, and then go back to brawling, and then get these last two, right? So once you get the weapon mastery, this is what it should look like, and you're good. Now for everything else, your super speed, you're only going to want this one. For iconic powers, you're definitely going to want Word of Power, and then your robot sidekick. Since we have 2 trays, we'll have the robot sidekick with us at all times. And then for your stats, we have the hybrid. So get this one. Then you're going to want to get the critical power chance. Just go 10-10 route. If you have more skill points than me, just max it at 20. But since I'm only still at, 400, I'll just do the 10-10. So 10 for critical power chance, 10 for critical power magnitude. Max out as much as you can for vitalization, okay? So I have 300 and then only 88 for dominance. I don't really need anything for dominance, but I still just want to give a little bit just because it does help with your stuns. And then vitalization is the most important one. So for your loadout, if you don't have the White Lantern ring, don't worry about the Brilliant Chains and the Life Shield. But right now, I have Life Shield. It's a better shield than Neuro Neutralizer. So that's why I have that one there. And, anytime it breaks, it does heal you. So that's kind of just a plus. For Defibrillator, this is your power heal. Bird's Blitz is your debuffs. Word of Power is the first supercharge that you have. So anytime you use this, it heals you and restores power over time with addition to 7 group members in your group. We have Brilliant Chains, which as of right now, Brilliant Chains is the best stun in the game. It's pretty obvious since this is the most recent power. And then lastly is Battle Drone. So anytime you use Battle Drone, John Stewart will kick in an effect as your ally and replace that shield with a hard light shield that's stronger and gives you that increase of vitalization. So the next thing is the robot sidekick. You're going to want this at all times. It does break pretty easily. You don't have to worry about it if it does break, but just try to pop it before you start a boss fight. For gadgets, Stasis Field is still a recommendation. It does give you more supercharge back to you compared to all these other abilities. So I would just use that for your second tray. It's still important. And then we have Holographic Decoy. If you don't want to use Holographic Decoy, then you can just use Distract. But right now, I just like Holographic Decoy. I think it's pretty cool. And then again, your other shield, which is Neuro Neutralizer. So right now, I know most people are going to be like, well, why 2 supercharges? Well, the cool thing about this is, and again, I didn't realize this. I could be stupid. Maybe they updated this without me knowing. But before, you could only use 1 supercharge at a time. It didn't matter if it was on cooldown. You could only just use 1. That's what I remember. I could be dumb. But for right now, you're going to want to use Word of Power when you're running with ads, right? So anytime you use this, you can just use your debuff and your defibrillator so that way you can keep giving people power, and this is just going to help giving people power and yourself. So when you're ads, just focus on Word of Power. Once that's in cooldown, when you get to bosses, you're probably just going to want to spam your Battle Drone instead. But either way, it kind of just really helps. So there really isn't a rotation. I mean, when you first start off, every time you start it off, you're going to want to use your weapon mastery. So weapon mastery, debuff, and power heal. That right there is your Avatar of Fear. And once he hits him, it does give you supercharge back to you. You can't see it now since I'm using it. But what I usually do is weapon mastery, debuff defibrillator, weapon mastery, Word of Power, and power heal. And then you're just going to be using power heal until the debuffs are not resetted, and then you do that as well. Now, if there's a bunch of ads everywhere, clearly you're going to want to use the chain. That way you can stun them. And the cool thing about the chain is anytime you use it, the tanks, so far that I've gathered, the tanks have no defect on it. So they can pull while they're still stunned. They'll still get to them. It's actually pretty dope. So, and then of course for battle drone, anytime you use it, that's the hard light shield that helps. That's pretty much it. Now, once the shield is active, do not use word of power. You don't need it. Everyone's getting power. You can pretty much just chill, and you should be fine. But like I said, just have the robot sidekick on at all times to do a little bit of damage and help you. You got the debuffs, stun, and then just keep using. Now notice how no matter what happens, I mean, look, I'm going to show you guys. I'm still spamming supercharge. And the cool thing is if you really want to, once that effect goes away of word of power, which is the electricity around your body, you can just automatically use your other supercharge. And look, I'm still going to spam. Look how fast that is. Cooldown for word of power is a whole lot faster than battle drone. But I'm just going to keep showing you guys this. That way you can see me spamming the supercharge. So no matter what happens, you're always going to have the supercharge. All you're waiting for is that cooldown. Look at that. And that's pretty much it. Now, since I'm by myself, that's why it's not like built right away. But usually when you run into a group, everyone just takes an effect on it. So the supercharge will be a whole lot faster to regen normally with a group than by yourself. But check this out. Let me see if I can do this. Okay, so now I have a supercharge without me using a single ability. Check this out. All that regenerates. And that little bar, you're going to have to do it yourself. See, Avatar of Fear, once he does damage, it gives you that supercharge more. So Neutralizer does help to build that supercharge faster, which is why that's also an ability that I use a little bit, see? And then it just does that. So you're going to be able to spam it. The only thing I'd recommend is before jumping into a raid, get the supercharge, right? Once you have that ready and set, jump into the raid, and I guarantee you, you will never run out of your supercharge. You only have to do it once. The moment you unlock it, jump into it and watch. I'm telling you. But we have some gameplay in the end so that way I can show you guys. And yeah, let me know what you guys think on the comment section below. Alright, so this one should be pretty easy.
Must have caught wind of our scheme. Don't let them interfere with the process.
Oh, nice. He got the life shield.
Carol, we're running out of time.
I know. Cool your jets. Trust me.
Alright, so, oh shit. So he had the life shield. One down.
The essence of life. We've created a light, diamond list. Sure, why not?
It worked. It worked! You're a genius!
I know.
Get a room. Better yet, get to Metropolis.
Now I'm probably just gonna show like this boss fight. I don't think I really need to show every single boss fight, but if you guys still want me to do that, just leave it on the comment section, and I'll go ahead and adjust it. But the DLC's been out long enough. I'm sure you guys know how to run this raid. Oh, he's freaking tired. It's late. I'm tired. I'm hungry, and I'm playing DC. It's great. Now, usually when I run into a raid that's running pretty smooth, I'll just pop the shield whenever I feel like it. Just so that way no one can die, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes people get one shot, like the tank usually gets dropped pretty quickly. So I just do it to do it. Like that. Hey guys, I'm tired. Sorry guys. Yeah, it's a wrap. pretty much done at this point. Like, there's just no way. Alright, yep, that's pretty much it.